I'm going to try and explain this as best I can. I just finished sanding all three pieces here that are going to form the top, the bottom, and the middle shelf. And then this is where those little cubbies are going to go. The thing about it is after I sanded them, I end up with slight variations in the thickness of the piece. So I measured this one here, and it measured 78.7800, so a little over 3/4. So I have to cut this dado to match this piece. And then when I go to the other side, I've got to measure this, the top, and then cut that dado in that side piece down below at that width. Okay, I've measured my A shelf. I've got that ready to go. I've got the A side of my side set, and then down on the other end I've got the curve maker sitting on a little shelf that I had to use because these are too long. The sides are too long, and that's just how that works out. But it's gonna work out great. So we'll make this cut. It's actually going to sit toward the back. That's a nice snug fit. I've got I'd rather it be a little tight, which is the way I kind of measured it. I can always sand this down a little bit, but that's going to be good. So I'm just going to do the other 5, and then we'll get busy on the rest of it. All right, that turned out perfect. What I want to do next now is these face pieces have to go on, and I need to remove this material here, top and bottom, and then also on the front side. The other thing I need to do is to mark I've got the sides marked, but I need to create a rabbet on the back here for the back, and then this shelf gets rabbeted. Top shelf gets rabbeted in the same way, and then this shelf gets cut to size to butt up against the back. And then I need to lay out equal thirds here for these cubbies. There'd just be 1/4" dados running this way. So these need to be done at the same time, and then a 1/4" dado in the top and the bottom in the middle here. So I'll get all that layout done, and then I'll come back. Now this is one of those good news, bad news deals, but I just finished cutting this joint. It turned out really nice. I used a couple different tools to do it, and I'll show you on the next one. The bad news is I'm a little off on my cut here, about 1/8 of an inch. The good news is both side pieces are cut the same, so it matches. And the other part of the good news is that this is all going to be covered by crown molding anyway, so you'll never see this. But I don't know what happened there. Should have been 2 inches from this point to this point, but I somehow ended up with about 2 1/8. But that's okay, no big deal. The joint looks good, and I'm happy with it. So I'll just do the other piece and show you how I did it. So what I did was I took my piece that I'm putting in here, lined it up here, and flushed it up. Then I took my knife and scribed that line right there. So I've got a mark to go to, and that's I'm going to create a little groove there for my dovetail saw to run into. So let me make that groove, and I got a step on the other side here. Hang on. Okay, so that just creates the little valley I need. And now I need to go on the other side again, sorry. Put my blade right in here up against that edge. You gotta take short strokes here because I can't go into the body of the side there, past that dado mark. Now it's not any big deal if I overcut this a little bit. I'm trying not to, but I think that's about it right there. I didn't cut that very straight. I'm at a bit of an angle this way, which is, it's better that way than this way. So the next thing to do is just pare most of this out of here. And I'm kind of reading the grain here, and this one's a lot straighter than the other one. So I'm just going to chip off big chunks here. That's pretty close, actually. pare that down a little bit. Okay, other side here again. I'm just eyeballing this. See where I'm fat, where I'm thin. Alright, next thing I want to use is my dado chisel here. Chisel plane, I guess. And I've got it set to just above the depth of this dado groove here. And all I'm doing is I'm keeping all the pressure on this side of the plane, and I'm just coming along and just chiseling out a little bit at a time here. Okay. Now I'm just going to make sure I got a nice square corner there. Let's see, we'll give it a test fit, see what it looks like here. It looks pretty good, except I'm a little high right there. I'm just going to lower this a little bit. That's too much. Make sure I'm going the right direction here. Right there. Try that. Yep, that's it. That's a little high spot right there. just adjust a fraction. Right in the middle here. There. And there it is, right there. So that's this end. And then the other piece comes in here forming this L. Which will keep this perpendicular, right like that. We've got a little bit of a gap back there, but that'll go away. You can't really see that. Let me show you here. Right here. Got a little tiny gap. But when I put these two together, that's what's going to give it its registration and its strength. So it'll be fine. That's nice. All right. I got two more to do on the bottom, and then we'll lay out the other grooves. Just finished gluing up the two pieces that have the face frames on them, and you can see here I've got some layout lines here and then also on this board as well. These are the two opposing pieces that are going to form that the cubby area, and so that's where I'll run my 1/4" dados. And then these pieces will mirror each other. I'll let this set up, and the reason I had to put this on there was because this dado has to run through this face frame here. It's going to be covered by the doors when they're closed, but they do have to come all the way out, unless I make them stop dados, I guess. But for now, I'm planning on having those come all the way out. So we will come back when this is all set up and make those cuts, and then we can worry about making the dados on the back for around the sides and the back of this piece. Well, this piece gets trimmed down. Sorry, this piece gets the middle piece gets trimmed to thickness. It's this piece and the top piece that are going to have the dado on them for the back. And then I want to try and figure out what I'm going to do with that light. And while these are setting up, that's what I'm going to show you next. This is on the dark side of the shop. It's not completely dark, obviously, but this is a mock-up of the side of the dartboard cabinet, and in it I made a 1/2" dado, a little bit over 1/8 of an inch deep. I wasn't too careful about what I was doing. I just wanted to see what this is going to look like. I removed some of the tape from the end and actually used that adhesive to adhere to the side here. And then I've covered up the rest of the lights with this black t-shirt. So no lights and light. So you can see it gives off pretty good light. And the other thing that I want you to notice is this shadow line right here. So it's about, a 1/2 inch, but you got to remember the dartboard is going to be in here about 5 inches or so. So that's not going to be a problem. I was thinking I might have to chamfer this edge back right here, but I don't think there'll be any need to do that. The dartboard's out here. You can see there's plenty of light here, and I think this will work out. So here it is from the other side. Turn these lights on there. So you can see now what I've done. I've made that dado show you this.